Hello and welcome to another Minecraft build showcase video. Today I'm going to go over another map I made for a PvP server. This one's called Drop Zone. So this one's called Drop Zone because the map consists of starting in a helicopter. This is considered a safe zone, so players can't PvP up here when they spawn in. And so they can equip their kits, which consists of everything in my inventory right there. Which, let me clear that. And then what they do is they come over onto the side and they jump into the water. So this was a design I came up with when I was building Quartz Garden, the other video I've shown you guys. But the idea was to have like a jumping platform, so players could jump down and then they could kind of get their own bearings a little wider than just being on a platform where people can camp. And the water's here because they had to drop down safely without dying. In Minecraft, you can drop into water and not take any fall damage. So yeah. Now, this was the second map, PvP map at least, I built for Minecraft. This time I learned a lot more about World Edit. World Edit allows you to easily copy and paste and put huge chunks of blocks everywhere, and it helped a ton with this map. But let me talk about the PvP aspect a little bit first. After you drop down, you'd have your sword at the ready, and then you could parkour up places. All this bottom layer, which is 2 stories, the whole complex is accessible by the players, so they can easily jump into side rooms, go behind in these passageways back here, and go downwards into other floors without being noticed too easily, so they could have a good chance of running away from players. And it was a little bit bigger than Quartz Garden, which is nice, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. So you had your offices, and yeah. I started out this map by first deciding sort of what I wanted to do, the size that I kind of wanted to go with, which is again another small sort of size opening, but I made up for that for the interiors and the passageways inside. But that's how I started the layout, and then I actually built the first floor. So all these floors are actually all identical except for the bottom 2. Just so that it would save me a whole bunch of time, so that I wouldn't have to just be creating all of these different floors for each side differently, which is used quite a bit in a lot of map making. So after I did that, I used World Edit and just copied and pasted all the way down to the bottom. So I had this huge chunk and it was forming and looking pretty great. After that, I filled it in with water, added some waterfalls around, and I added these leaves everywhere. So these leaves serve a purpose other than looks. The first one is that players can't see outside the map, which is something most map designers should take into account for. They shouldn't break the illusion of being inside the map by seeing outside structures or something that just doesn't feel right with the map if there's not going to be anything out there. So I covered that up. They also serve the purpose of these waterfalls. These waterfalls are just aesthetics, but players can climb up them in normal Minecraft and just kind of float on them. The leaves serve a purpose by not allowing the players to get up here and camp. They have to continuously swim up here if they want to, and they can be picked off pretty easily when they're floating in water. And that allows them not an easy way to get outside. Now, the outside, as you can see, kind of just broke the illusion. But you won't see that as a normal player inside the map. So after I finished all that, I decided I wanted to make it a crumbly look and kind of abandoned, sort of jungly feel. So I started work on sort of like cutting out chunks of floors and throwing it onto the ground to look like it has fallen. So there's another example. I had glass shattered so that players could get inside easily, but I also added some out here so it looks like it's scattered. And it helps with PvP and parkour, because this water is quite annoying, I should say, when you're actually PvPing. I added just some leaves everywhere to get it some looks, and sometimes it can help you out with PvP by isolating. I also blocked off some rooms because there are quite a few, and I didn't want everything to be identical, so leaves are a good substitute for blockage. These passageways I blocked off a little bit, but most of them are open in the back here, so that players can go around the whole map without being noticed. There's upstairs and downstairs for every set, and sometimes you just kind of have to loop through them, like right there, and then you go over here, and you have the staircase upwards. So it has a logical order and symmetry behind it, but it's all slightly variated on where you can go. So yeah, a couple of things I learned about building maps and sort of some design features I should account for this one is this was another small map. I was thinking originally it was going to be just feel bigger because of all these close corridors and all these small rooms that players can sneak into and just kind of battle it out. But I learned through this map after seeing players play is they normally drop into the water and then they just battle it out in this main area, which was actually quite fun. But you just had constant combat, and anybody that hid in these rooms didn't really have much fun. And they normally just snuck out here again where all the players were. So that's one thing I learned from this. Which, after that, I decided I was gonna build some bigger maps for sure, because this was kind of small. It worked for the server though, because the server was still growing, and they didn't have that many maps, so it was fun to play once in a while. So yeah, anything else? There's no King of the Hill sort of tree or any feature here. I was trying to go for that with this little drop-down platform where players would just camp up here and shoot people down when they tried to get up here, and they can also jump out of the window as an escape and get on trees. Players would take fall damage if they landed on trees, which has happened sometimes, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so that's that. So there's another Minecraft build showcase. Sorry it's been a little while. I'll try to be more frequent with these and hopefully show you some of the more better evolved maps. So thanks for watching and have a good day.